We've all been there. You're browsing online, maybe shopping for something small like a new pair of shoes, and suddenly, you're looking at a brand new TV, a designer bag, and a gadget you didn't even know existed. And before you know it, you've added it all to your cart. It's not even on sale, but somehow, the urge to buy is just too strong. Sound familiar? Well, here's the thing, that's literally me. Well, it was me. I used to fall for that every time, like clockwork. I'd end up with stuff I didn't need, feeling that temporary high of getting a new purchase, only for the buyer's remorse to kick in later. But why? Why do we do this to ourselves? My name is Bold, and I spend way too much time thinking about money. If you're someone who constantly finds yourself splurging on things you don't need, whether it's a random coffee or a brand new gadget, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Look, I get it, shopping feels good. But what if I told you that these purchases are not just about what's in your cart, they're about what's going on in your brain? And the truth is, it's not entirely your fault. The way we spend money is way more psychological than we realize. Here's what most people don't realize: our brain is hardwired to make decisions that aren't always financially sound. In fact, studies show that nearly 60% of purchases made by Americans are impulse buys. That's $5,000 per year on average for the typical American household. Now, think about that for a second. Over $5,000, money that could have gone towards saving for the future, paying off debt, or investing. Instead, we're putting it into things we'll use once and forget about. This isn't just you, this is the result of years of psychological programming. So, why do we buy things we don't need? Let's dive in. The first culprit? Instant gratification. Think about it, when you click that Buy Now button, your brain releases dopamine, yep, the same chemical that gets released when you eat chocolate or win a game. This chemical makes you feel good, almost like a mini victory. Your brain gets a little reward. But here's the thing, that feeling is short-lived. Once the high wears off, you're left with buyer's remorse. Let's put this into numbers. Imagine you buy a $100 item on impulse. You get that rush, but then, a few hours later, you're thinking, why did I do that? That feeling doesn't just go away. It impacts your finances. If you're making purchases like this every week, that's $5,200 a year spent on things you didn't need. And that's just on the small stuff. Here's another one, the scarcity effect. We've all seen those limited time offer ads. Whether it's at a flash sale or only 2 left in stock, the idea that something is rare makes us panic. We think we'll miss out if we don't act fast. It's a psychological trick that pushes us to buy without thinking. Now, you might be thinking, but what if it really is a good deal? Here's the thing, it's not about the deal. It's about what happens in your brain when you're under pressure. You're reacting to the idea of scarcity, not the value of the product. This feeling of urgency is enough to override your better judgment. So, let's break it down with numbers again. You're eyeing a $50 item on sale for 40% off. The deal feels good, but you're buying it just to take advantage of the savings, not because you actually need it. But in reality, you're spending $30 on something that has no place in your life. That's the danger of the scarcity effect. The third major driver? Social proof. Humans are social creatures. We look to others for cues about what to do and what to buy. Ever noticed how you suddenly want a new phone just because all your friends have the latest model? That's social proof at work. Studies show that 78% of people are more likely to purchase something if a friend recommends it. But here's the kicker, social proof makes us overspend a lot. When we're constantly comparing ourselves to others and thinking, I need that new car, or I need that designer bag, we're not factoring in the long-term financial impact. Let's make it real. You're at a party, and someone mentions their new luxury car. You think, That's nice. Maybe I need a new car too. A few weeks later, you're looking at financing options for a car that's way out of your budget. And just like that, you've fallen into the social proof trap. That's the power of keeping up with the Joneses, and it's why we often buy things that don't align with our financial goals. Now, you might be thinking, but I work hard. I deserve a little treat every now and then. Look, I get it. The temptation to splurge is real, and you work hard for your money. But here's where it gets really interesting: rewarding yourself with impulse purchases isn't actually a sustainable way to feel good. In fact, it can be counterproductive. That temporary high you get from buying something doesn't create lasting happiness or fulfillment. Instead, investing in your future, whether that's building your savings, paying off debt, or putting money into an investment account, will give you a deeper, longer-lasting sense of achievement. You don't need to buy the newest gadget to feel successful. And here's the kicker: financial freedom comes from consistency, not from sporadic splurging. So, what can we do about this? How can we take control of our spending and stop buying things we don't need? Number 1. Awareness is key. Start tracking every purchase. You'd be surprised how much you spend on impulse buys. Apps like Mint or YNAB, You Need a Budget, are game changers. 2. Set a budget. Create a clear budget for wants versus needs. This will help you differentiate between the things you actually need and those that are just shiny distractions. 3. Sleep on it. Before buying anything over $50, give yourself 24 hours. This cool-down period can help you avoid unnecessary purchases. 4. Avoid temptation. Unsubscribe from email lists, stop browsing sale sections, and set your social media to do not disturb when you're trying to focus on your finances. 5. Reframe your mindset. Focus on the value of investing in your future, not the thrill of buying things. The long-term reward is so much greater than the temporary satisfaction of a new purchase. The truth is, buying things we don't need isn't just about poor decision-making or lack of discipline. It's about the way our brains are wired. Once you understand these psychological triggers, instant gratification, scarcity, and social proof, you can make smarter, more intentional financial decisions. Remember, your financial future is in your hands. Understanding the psychology of spending is the first step in taking control of your money. By making small, mindful changes to your spending habits, you can start building the wealth and financial freedom you've always wanted. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Together, we can make smarter financial decisions and work towards a more secure future.